Oh, we were broadcasting and then we weren't broadcasting. Now we're broadcasting again.
But this time, we're broadcasting a still a copy of that Floppy, your weekly video game news show.
Welcome.
Just as two dudes in a room throwing phones.
Throw the phone away. I don't want it anymore.
Get it out of my sight. So we broadcast here on Chip It Radio at chipit.net every Friday night from 6 to 7. People are going to be so confused. From 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What do we usually do on this show? And/or where can people find us?
We usually talk about video game news. We don't do reviews. Fuck that shit.
We used to, but then we ran out of time.
Yeah, we
realized it.
Our heart wasn't in it, really.
Our heart wasn't in it. We were just,
and we don't do Let's Plays either. God damn it.
I want to.
So instead, what we do is we talk about the video game news of the week. And you can find us on all sorts of social media, most of which we post the articles we're going to talk about on the show. Yes. So, big one is Facebook. Obviously, everybody loves the Facebook, because it's cleaner that way. Yeah. Also, we're on the Twitter, at DCTF Podcast. We can also be found on some minor social media platforms such as Steam. Yeah, and YouTube.
A little website called YouTube.
And a little service called iTunes.
That some people use for their music.
You probably never used it.
And television and other things. So yeah, we're all those places. Send us messages, comment on stuff. Tell us things you want us to talk about. If you find an article, you're like, hey, this is interesting. You guys should talk about it. We'll be like, maybe. And we might do it.
And then we won't.
Write us a sassy email to our non-existent email account.
A sassy email.
We should do a question and answer show sometime and just be sad because we don't get any questions.
They'll help you like, these would be questions we got if anyone cared to give us a question.
Dear Alexa and Dan, what is your favorite video game? My favorite video game is Sonic Adventure for the Sega Dreamcast. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's talk about a thing that I know neither of us really want to talk about first, so we'll get it out of the way. Titanfall 2 has officially been announced.
It's been announced.
Was it actually just officially announced, or was this officially announced a while ago and I just was not paying any attention to it?
I think it was unofficially announced a while ago.
Like everybody knew it was coming, but they hadn't 100% said, like...
Maybe it was officially announced and we didn't report on it because we just didn't care, and we're not getting around to it now. Yeah. Until now.
So the big news, though, is that it has a single-player campaign.
Oh my god. And a tie-in TV show. So they say.
Be still my beating heart.
The guy writing the single-player, I forget his name, but he worked on... NCIS, that TV show. He did like 5 seasons of it. So he's supposed to be writing the TV show and the single player for the game. I like how in the background your girlfriend was like, whoa, NCIS, I'm interested.
I like that show.
Jesse Stern is the writer.
And was I correct about NCIS?
And Stern's writing credits include...
Oh, cat, no!
Yes. Oh my god, the cat. She can't. She likes hanging out with us while we podcast. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. These masterpieces of our time. These modern Shakespeare plays.
Not why?
Oh my god, stop, cat. Jesus, why now? Why only today? You've never done this before. And 5-year stint on the CBS crime drama NCIS. He told Forbes that he is working with Lionsgate TV on a series set in Titanfall's sci-fi world.
Oh.
So this is going to be a television series about sci-fi people with highly advanced giant robots who fight each other. Which means this is going to be a TV show about people in a sci-fi setting standing in rooms talking about fighting each other with giant robots.
That's exactly
what we will see in one episode.
Yep. Because they don't have the budget for all those robot fights.
This is going to be awful.
This isn't an anime.
Dude, anime doesn't even have budget for all those robot fights. Have you watched Gundam?
Touche, good sir. Touche.
It's mostly just talking in rooms.
Gundam Wing, man.
Oh, it's so...
all that statecraft.
It's rough. So yeah, this... I don't see how this could possibly be good. And we've seen it before with the Halo tie-in TV show, which was abysmal.
Oh god,
absolutely
so bad.
horrible.
Yeah, so what I was talking to Dan about before the show is, like, I don't understand why they're doing this, because there has not been a proven model where this has worked and made anyone any money.
And of all things that they could be doing, Titanfall was a horrible IP to do it.
Because it's an IP that, like, the game came out, people were really interested for 2 weeks, and then they realized it had no replay value, and then everyone forgot about it.
Yeah.
So that's like, I mean, it's not the worst IP to do a TV show out of, but it's, like, pretty far down that list.
Look at Game of Thrones, though, for an example. Game of Thrones is on HBO, it's wildly successful, has a huge budget, and they can still only afford dragons for 3 episodes a season.
This is true.
For like 5 minutes an episode. Like, that stuff's expensive. They're not going to be able to do big CG robots regularly.
There's some handsome dragons, though.
They've gotten real nice looking in the most recent season, for sure. Definitely. But, I can't see this possibly being well done.
No.
Also, I mean, not acting and things like that notwithstanding, because like part of the Halo show's problem is the acting was abysmal, and the writing was just as bad. And you have one bad CG elite jumping out going,
oh yeah,
oh, it's so terrible.
So what I thought was interesting about this though is that Titanfall 1 comes out. They have no single player, they just have multiplayer.
Yes.
And everyone's like, man, this is annoying, you should have single player. And then the company's like, don't worry about it, we don't need single player.
Pseudo-single player with the online funding, but your point still stands.
And the company was like, don't worry about it, nobody makes any money off the single player these days, lol. Then everyone hated their game and forgot about it a month later.
Yes.
So now their theory is like, well, man, we should really give the fans what they want, so we'll give the single player and we'll give them a TV show. That's like double story mode.
But now, Titanfall is like the rebellious one, because all these other games are dropping the single-player campaign, and Titanfall's like, no, we're doing it. So everyone's gonna be like, oh, Titanfall's so cool, because they decided to actually do single-player campaign amazing. Not like Star Wars Battlefront.
I was about to say that. In a world full of Star Wars Battlefronts.
Which has been confirmed, by the way, to not be getting any content from the new movie. In addition to no prequel content.
What the heck?
That sucks. That's horrible.
I mean, like, I think that it's fair to say original trilogy content is probably, that's the best well to draw from.
For sure.
Sure.
I don't know, like, the prequel movies weren't good, per se, but there's a lot of stuff for a video game that's good in there.
There were some cool ship designs. And
maps.
Cool, yeah.
For, like, Mustafar would still be cool with those graphics and stuff. They could do some rad stuff. Yeah. Get some Jedi in there, some more Jedi in there. Get some robots.
As much Jedi as possible.
Just cram some Jedi in there. But they have, like, new characters, too, that they could use for heroes with, like, the new movies already. Just, like, right there for them. Like, you get Finn and Rey and, like, Old Man Han Solo, who does different things from regular Han Solo.
You get Poe in there, your piloting's, like, twice as good, and then he'll compliment Finn if Finn is also the game. Then there will be dramatic tension.
Ooh.
It'll be steamy.
It's gonna get steamy.
With those graphics, so much steam.
Oh,
amazing.
And then on the bad guys, you have Kylo Ren, and you have, like, someone else. I don't know, Captain Action Figure.
Oh, Captain Action Figure. I really wish you had done something in that movie.
You could, if Leia's a hero on the Rebel side, though, you could totally do, like, General Hux or something. As, like, a support commander type.
Yeah, totally.
Too. Like, it would totally work. They could do it. But they're like, no.
Nah.
Because even that Battle of Jakku map is like, it's 1 year after Return of the Jedi. So it's way closer to the original trilogy than it is to the new stuff. So they, like, fudged it. They fudged it on us. And now, from EA's standpoint, they're probably waiting. They're going to wait till all the new movies come out, and then they're going to do one Battlefront game with all of the new movies.
But it'll only really have one of the movies, and then the rest will be season pass.
It'll have 8 maps. That's what's going to be it. So, we're so disinterested in Titanfall that we completely went off the subject of it.
Start talking about
Star Wars Battlefront instead. I think that's all that really needs to be said about
Exactly.
this.
That's a good way to wrap up that story.
So, you know who might be interested in Titanfall 2? Adult women gamers.
Oh my gosh, they probably will be.
Some of them probably will be.
I mean, the law of averages says some of them will be.
So, this is an article from
the Daily Dot. From what day was it? It was, oh, whoa, this is a way old article.
Is it?
Yes.
Holy crap!
This is a really old article.
Where did you find that?
It was like a trending topic on Facebook. I'm so confused.
Well, we can talk about it anyway.
This is still interesting.
It is still interesting. Maybe a lot of people are just finding out about this, in which case it's still worth reporting on. I mean, it's still worth reporting on anyway.
That's funny, this is around when we started the show.
This is very shortly after we started the show.
Yeah, like a month or two after.
Did we talk about this already?
Oh my god, maybe we
Are
did.
we coming full circle right now? Well, we'll give it a little... There's not a whole lot to say about it, so we'll just do what we can with it.
Okay. So this is an article from August of 2014. Sorry.
The cutting edge of video game news.
But it is about demographics in gaming.
Yes.
Specifically, who's playing these video games. And it turns out that adult women are actually the largest demographic in gaming.
36%.
At least they were 2 years ago. They probably still are.
That's probably still the same, yeah. 36% of the gaming population, followed by adult men at 35%. So it's a very slight difference there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's teenage boys who are stereotyped as the biggest gamers now lag far behind, making up just 17%.
That surprised me, actually. That probably surprised me more than anything else in here, more than, like, the headline.
They're just a very vocal minority. They just really want to play hatred and show everyone how cool they are.
They really want to call you a homosexual and talk about how they're gonna have intercourse with your mother.
They gotta play that Dota. That's part of Dota, right? It's like it's just part of the gameplay.
Yeah, pretty
Calling
much.
each other homosexual slurs. So yes. The other interesting thing, and the thing that always comes up when this is talked about, is like, of course they are, because they play all the mobile games. And that's it. But that's being counted. But this has shown that this has actually been true for, like, most of these adult women have been playing games for 13 years. Which means they started well before the big mobile game craze became a thing.
This is interesting. So I'm looking at more recent numbers of this, because I checked out, Wikipedia, if you just search, like, women in gaming, they have, there's a Wikipedia page that breaks down some of the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
What is interesting is I think what this study is referring to is that women who say they play video games as opposed to women who identify as gamers.
Right.
When you ask people if they identify as gamers, it's still pretty low, but it's like 15% of men say they identify, and only 6% of women. And I wonder if that's because, and certainly from 2015, if you remember that, the summer of 2015, that whole gate of gamers that happened. I think that really put a damper on the label gamer.
It did, definitely.
So
it put a stigma on it that a lot of people just didn't want to be associated with anymore.
So the more recent numbers are 48% of women say they play video games, but only 6% of that number identify as gamers. And like, wow.
That's crazy.
So that's like... for one thing, half of the women in the United States play video games. Which is good for USA.
Well, what this first article from 2014 says is that most of the games that they play are computer games. Which means probably it says here casual computer games mostly.
Oh, the Sims.
So I was thinking like Sims, Myst, puzzle games like that. I think are really
maybe
big
some Telltale
with those
games,
demographics, Telltale, things like that. So it's not just mobile games, because this article even says mobile games, the social media mobile game thing doubled in popularity between 2012 and 2013. So that being a big thing is really recent as far as this, like, trends of this kind of thing go. So it's cool to see these numbers and to see that it's not just like, you get all the people saying, well, they just play bejeweled on their phones all day. And it's cool to see that that's not the case.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's plenty of people who play Bejeweled on their phones all day, and they're horrible.
They're all horrible.
Male, female.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender they are.
Kill them all like God, sort them out. That's what I say.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's neat. What's not neat is this other story.
Oh, this is sad.
Which I thought was really a bummer.
I kind of saw it coming, but it's still
I think
sad.
everyone kind of could have seen it coming.
Yeah.
And honestly, I hadn't been here in quite some time. But Gametrailers, which is a video game news and preview site, closed its doors on February 8th, 2016. The editor-in-chief just tweeted, "Today is the last day of Gametrailers. I wish it wasn't so." And the site was still posting everything it normally posted up until the time it shut down. So it kind of just, he was just like, "Yep, it's done." The website's was around since 2002, and was an early component of like the video game news coverage bubble that kind of formed at the turn of the millennium there. When we started getting all those internet news sites for video games and things like that.
When video games moved out of the realm of just television.
Whoa! Crawled out of their mom's basement and into the public eye. Yes. So it's a shame because I liked Gametrailers. I thought it was a pretty okay website. I generally thought the reviews were pretty decent for most games. Like, I agreed with their review scores definitely more often than GameSpot and IGN, at least.
Yeah, why couldn't it have been GameSpot or IGN?
Why not IGN?
Please.
Can we just gut IGN already and forget about it?
It makes me sad, too, because some of the hosts at IGN are actually people I really enjoy listening to from, like, that I know from other things.
But man, what
I
a
can't,
crap heap.
Yeah, I just can't watch IGN.
So apparently they were purchased by Defy Media in the middle of 2014, and the company immediately imposed layoffs.
Now, I don't know, that sounds really familiar. I'm not sure if we reported on that or not. We may have.
We may have. Defy Media is also the publisher for The Escapist, and some other online sites.
I think we talked about The Escapist.
I think we did. And according to this article on Polygon, they put in a call to Defy to get full confirmation and a statement, but it doesn't look like they received anything. But as far as I know, Gametrailers ain't around no more. I can click the link right now. I mean, it's still there, but the last thing they published was on the 8th. Oh. Frozen in time. Kind of creepy.
Oh, they have a review for Unravel.
They do. And Firewatch and XCOM 2.
Dude, last review was Firewatch. That's probably a good thing to go out on.
Yeah. You've been checking out those Firewatch reviews? I've been reading about it.
No, I've been poking around.
Poking around a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm really into what I'm seeing about it completely. I'm like,
I don't know. People seem interested.
They seem interested, but like the core of it, I feel like I don't know. I was hoping for more than what I don't know. We'll talk about it at some point. I'm not going to spend $20 on it. that at least I know right now. And I was thinking about it before it came out, and I saw that it's only 3 or 4 hours long. It's pretty short, and you don't really do much in it.
You just wander around that park.
It's a walking simulator. Yeah. Like, even the reviews that are praising it are saying, like, you walk around. And there's really good writing and really good dialogue and voice acting, and it's very pretty. But that's it. Let's talk about Hideo Kojima.
Because who doesn't want to talk about Hideo?
We talk about Hideo all the time.
He's my favorite. So, Hideo Kojima, as we know, for a very long time.
So majestic.
Yeah. Has always been a huge fan of the movies.
He loves movies. He made video games because he couldn't make movies.
Exactly.
He said that.
You think it would have been easier to just make movies, right?
So? I don't know. Japan's film industry is weird. So I wonder if it had something to do with that country's particular film industry and that he couldn't break into it in a way he wanted to.
Maybe. Because you think, like, the budget and, like, the amount of people you have working for you on a video game versus a movie is actually very similar.
Nowadays, yeah. Especially a AAA thing like Metal Gear and stuff.
But, like, a movie you can hash out in, like, 6 months, but a game's gonna take you, like, 3 years.
Yeah. It's interesting. And it's interesting he didn't just go to making, like, indie films or something. And it makes me think maybe there's just not scene for that in Japan.
There might not be,
I'm not
unless
that
it's
familiar with it.
animated.
Unless it's animated.
Yeah.
Even that's having hard times
That's
lately.
true.
Studio Ghibli closed.
Oof.
They were the freaking Disney of Japan.
That's true.
Like,
But yeah, so he loves movies. That's the bottom line of this.
Yeah.
And he is now hanging out, being a free agent. He's got more time on his hands. He's looking toward other video game
his new
projects.
studio,
He got his new studio, Kojima Productions.
which
has a great logo.
has a great logo and is looking into possibly making movies.
Nice. He can finally do what he always wanted.
Yep.
But one of the things he's doing in his spare time right now is he started a YouTube channel.
He did.
Called HideoTube, which is great. And apparently what this channel will just be is him reviewing movies and talking about the movies that he likes.
That's fine.
I'm like, that's amazing.
That's great.
That's all I ever want. Please do an in-depth piece on Drive while we're in the Drive jacket.
So the first video that he put up as like his debut is a 46-minute long video of his top 10 movies of 2015.
Now I should, I started watching, I haven't watched it yet.
I have not
watched the
watched
first
it
couple
yet,
minutes, but I need to point out that it is all subtitled.
Yes.
So be aware
Which makes
of
sense.
that.
Anybody who's seen Kojima at events and things knows that his English is not great. And clearly he wanted to do this for a worldwide audience. So it makes sense.
They did it in YouTube Space Tokyo, which I didn't know there was a YouTube Space in Tokyo, but it makes sense. And
it
that's
does make
cool.
sense, yeah. So we'll have to see from here, like, what else he puts out. But I'm really interested to see.
Do we want to talk about his top 10 movies?
We should talk about his top 10 movies.
Oh my god, they're some of them I'm actually really surprised by.
Really?
But others I'm like, okay.
One in particular surprised me, but I find it very endearing.
I think there's 3 that I think just straight up shouldn't be on this list. just shouldn't be there.
So number 10, from top to bottom, I guess, is Star Wars Force Awakens.
And I feel like, I haven't watched the video yet, as I said, but I feel like his explanation for that is going to be, Star Wars Force Awakens, it's a great popcorn movie, not an auteur film, like a lot of my other stuff, but I still thought it deserved to make the list.
Right.
I'm going to assume that's what he said. It's probably what he said.
We'll see. Number 9 is Fires on a Plane.
I actually haven't heard about that.
Me
It's
neither.
probably a foreign film that I don't, like,
Presumably.
indie foreign film.
Is this a new version of this movie? Because there's a 1959 film, as well as a 2014 film.
Well, the 2014 film was probably the one he's talking
Maybe
about.
it's counted as a 2015 movie for some reason.
Gotta re-release.
He saw it in 2015. That's all that matters. It is a story of a Japanese soldier enduring illness, starvation, and brutality at the end of World War II.
Oh, fun.
So it's like a really...
So just like Star Wars.
It's an upsetting war movie,
Yeah.
just like Star Wars.
Star Wars. For number 8, he had Straight Outta Compton,
Yes.
which totally should be on that list.
Sure.
It's great.
I haven't seen it.
Number 7, and one of my first head scratchers of the
Oh, yeah,
list.
no, you're right. This is another head scratcher.
Yeah.
The Intern.
The Intern.
Which I believe is that Robert De Niro heart.
It's not like a rom-com. I guess it's
It's a
just a
heartwarming
comedy.
It's a heartwarming comedy.
Yeah.
It's the feel-good comedy of the summer.
And it's like Anne Hathaway is the other person who's in it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And the plot was like...
Robert De Niro's an old guy, and he goes back to work as an intern at a company.
Yeah, a hot, hip tech company.
And he's like, whoa, I'm Robert De Niro. I don't know what this stuff is. And they're like, oh, Bobby De Niro, you so crazy.
and
he's like, hey.
And I'm sure at some point near the end of the movie, the other characters are like, we learned so much from you. And then he's like, I learned so much from you, too.
And then the real treasure was the friendships they made.
Exactly. No, they straight up say that in the trailer.
Do they?
Anne Hathaway, like, near the end of the trailer, she's like, you're one of my best friends.
Oh my god.
It's like, it's stupid. That movie looks horrible.
What if it's not?
But Hideo Kojima says it's good, so I gotta give it a shot. Because he knows what he's talking about. So I guess I'm renting The Intern tonight, is what I'm telling you.
You report back to me on that. Let me know how it is. So, the next movie on the list, which I find very endearing. I haven't seen this movie yet, but I'm a fan of Nick Park's other work.
Yeah, definitely.
Shaun the Sheep.
The movie.
The movie by the creator of Wallace and Gromit. A very strange British man. Who makes very strange British claymation movies.
Yeah.
But they're delightful. They're very good. I'm just surprised to see this on Hideo Kojima's list.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see that up there at all.
He's like, man, I love Straight Outta Compton and Fires on a Plane. Those movies were sick. I'm gonna go watch Shaun the Sheep now. And he gets that movie like, that was tight.
Let me put that above both those other movies on the list. Next up, we have Nightcrawler.
I want to see this movie.
I do too. Jake Gyllenhaal is like a gross TMZ reporter.
Yeah, who's just like the scuzziest, nastiest, like, gotta get the story, gotta get the dirt.
Yeah.
Like, dude. Like, runs off to car crashes to film the dead people.
The if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
Epitome of that.
Yeah. Looks like a really interesting movie, and I've heard it's quite good as well. Next is Locke. I don't know this one.
That sounds super familiar, and I totally am blanking on it.
That's Locke with an E at the end. Locke 2014.
Who's that?
It must have come out. Is this Tom Hardy?
It is.
This is Tom Hardy movie. I've heard about this movie. It's a movie about Tom Hardy being like a crazy guy.
Sounds great.
Yeah, his life. It's about Tom Hardy's life unraveling. Like every movie Tom Hardy is in.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
At least lately. I mean, Mad Max, his life unraveled already. The Revenant, he's crazy.
Partially scalped.
Yes.
Next up, we got
Kingsman: The Secret Service,
which is a good movie.
I have not seen it.
I enjoyed it.
My friend, a friend of mine, Danny, speaks very highly of it and has told me I absolutely need to watch it.
It was fun, but I wouldn't put it on a top 10 list.
No,
I'd say it's definitely worth a rent.
Okay,
but yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't put it at number 3 on a top 10 list. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Well, then we got Whiplash.
Whiplash was awesome. All that drama.
I haven't seen Whiplash.
Drama.
I'm bad at movies. I need to see more movies. And number 1,
of course.
What else would it be?
I mean, when you think about it, if you were to say what movie do you think Hideo Kojima liked the most from the past year, this is a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's what was the best movie that came out last year.
Oh, I think so.
It's also a no-brainer. Mad Max Fury Road.
Of course.
Objectively.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Hideo Kojima agrees. But yeah, like, I saw that he did this, and I was like, I bet this motherfucker loved Mad Max Fury Road. And then I looked at the list, and I was like, yep, there it is. Number 1.
Right there.
So yeah, this was barely a video game story.
It wasn't a video game story at all. Still, I'm excited to see the videos he posts.
Yes, because I'm sure there will be some video game related things on his channel. I would hope.
Just do an expose on Escape from New York.
An earlier story from February 3rd said that Hideo and Del Toro will be discussing creative visions at this year's DICE conference.
What did DICE stand for again? Something with a D?
It's a summit of, like, creative people. DICE Summit.
Yeah, you definitely can't Google search DICE and expect...
Oh no, here we go. Hideo Kojima. It's the DICE Summit, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
what it is. Oh, hey, Kim Kardashian's
they're going to talk about DICE. It looks like a big thing where important people go and talk about their things. A conversation, DICE 2016, Thursday afternoon keynote. A conversation with Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, moderated by Jeff Keighley.
Oh my god, I didn't know he was moderating it.
What's there to moderate? What is there to moderate?
It's just Jeff being like, oh my god, Hideo, that was such a great point. You're such a great guy. And then Hideo being like, oh Jeff, you're my favorite person, except for Guillermo over here. Alright, Guillermo, let's go to you.
You're just going for a hug. He's just hugging out. But this is cool. Del Toro and Kojima have hit it off. These guys are just like all over each other now. We're gonna get something made by both of them.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
And maybe we'll get a game, maybe we'll get a movie, maybe we'll get both. Maybe we'll get a game with a movie tie-in.
That's actually good.
That's actually good. Or a game with a TV show tie-in that's actually good. We can only dream.
We'll see. Mad Cats.
Mad Cats. I didn't know who you were until I read this story.
So, you didn't know who Mad Cats was?
No, I just assumed Harmonix made the things. I didn't realize they had a different company make them.
No, Mad Cat's been around for a while. They make those terrible controllers. The only...
I was watching... it's funny, because I was watching a video about this story, and they talked about the controllers Mad Catz had been making,
They're awful.
And all of the footage they showed of it was not only did the controllers look like shitty third-party controllers, but the way people were using them is it was like a normal video game controller, like you hold with your hands on the sides, but instead their hands were like flat on it, pressing the buttons. They're like, that's not even how you use a controller, but maybe that's the only way to properly use a Mad Catz controller.
They are quite painful to use. One thing Mad Catz does make well is arcade fight sticks for fighting games.
Oh,
hilarious! Strangely enough,
those are supposed to be like the most precision-intensive ones.
No, they're Mad Catz fight sticks are solid, but their regular like gamepads are awful. They're the worst.
So anyway, this is a story from February 8th. We're citing a Polygon article, and it's about how Mad Catz CEO and chairman have resigned because Mad Catz has lost so much money
on Rock Band 4.
On Rock Band 4, yeah.
Excuse me.
Because Rock Band 4 came out, as we predicted on our show.
It did poorly.
Yeah, duh.
Shocker.
Because no one cares about that franchise
anymore. The bubble burst. You can't just wait 2 or 3 years and expect everybody to want Rock Band again. Like, I feel like it's one of those trends that's just gone now. It's like skateboarding games. No one cares anymore.
That's true. Tony Hawk.
It's just another one of those things. Because all these companies are trying to bring back this old stuff that people loved, and they're not getting that like people actually just don't want anymore.
And when they continue to pump out Tony Hawk games, at least I'm like, okay, well, they had like a skeleton crew making this. And they were trying to make a quick buck without spending very much money. Okay. But when Harmonix did this with Rock Band, I was like, dude, you put so much time and resources into it, and these controllers are extremely expensive to manufacture, because that's why they cost so much. So then when the game doesn't sell, apparently a lot of stores did these deep discounts on the controllers and the game as well to move more units. But because they did that, then the company made way less money because they were still selling a bunch of units, but they were selling them at way less than they were supposed to sell them at.
Right. And I mean, nobody wanted to buy all those controllers anyway because everybody already went through that phase of buying all their Rock Band and Guitar Hero gear and then not wanting to play the game anymore and going through the nightmare of getting rid of it.
Oh god, it's horrible.
And no one wants to go through that again.
Although at least most of it you can just throw away, because there's like half of your instruments are definitely broken because you played them too hard. Like the drum kits are destroyed.
Oh yeah, those things. They were crappy to begin with.
Yeah.
So before their earnings report, the CEO and chairman resigned.
That was the disgrace that they felt.
Yeah.
So, Mad Catz is apparently... I think there's going to be more layoffs there. I can't remember.
There are. Because I have an article from the very next day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On February 9th. Mad Catz laying off 37% of staff in restructuring after Rock Band 4 disappoints.
Oh. Ouch.
So, I'm not sure how many people 37% of their staff is, and I don't believe that this article says that.
That would be useful information.
They're a
Polygon.
They're a pretty good-sized company, though. It's been around for a while.
Well, yeah, because they make Rock Band controllers.
Yeah. But regardless of how many people are at your company, 37% of your whole workforce is a lot.
Yeah, well, you cut out a third of your workforce.
Even if that's only 100 people, that's still 37 people.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a big percentage.
That's significant.
So we'll see what happens with them.
Looking ahead, Mad Catz is hoping that Rock Band 4 will continue to sell. Good luck. The company is also preparing for this month's launch of Street Fighter V with a new range of officially licensed fight sticks and fight pads.
Well, that will sell for them.
That will help them out.
I mean, the only problem with that is that it is a fairly niche community
of people who actually want the
sticks. I mean, even just the people who are big Street Fighter fans is a little more niche than
the special game pads for fighting games as well.
Yeah.
So, there are more people who are going to buy those than there are people who are going to buy the whole, arcade stick.
Well, that's true, yeah.
So this will help.
Hopefully.
I mean, at least they already have a reputation of making those things well.
Yeah.
So that's good, at least. Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 is going to be cool. I don't know why I had this story. I thought we might talk about Firewatch, but neither of us have played it, so we probably won't talk about it much. Here's a shocking development. There's not going to be an Assassin's Creed game this year.
We have people whispering in the background that they don't believe the story.
This has to be a lie. It's absolutely not true. Ubisoft announced on February 11th, so yesterday, that Assassin's Creed is taking a year off. They are instead stepping back and re-examining the Assassin's Creed franchise. I feel like that's a good idea. I have my doubts at how much they're actually going to change anything.
The thing is, like, the Assassin's Creed games, I mean, Unity was a debacle, but it still sold pretty well.
And once they fix the glitches, it's a functional game. It's not a great game. It's a good game.
But the most recent one...
Syndicate was pretty well received.
Yeah. So it surprises me, because I thought their sales numbers were back up.
Yeah.
Let me check my database here. Whatever loads.
I mean, part of the problem, though, is they've been saturating us with so many of these, too, that I think people really are just starting to kind of get tired of it. So taking that break may just be a good idea for that reason as well. Because they have to be aware that people are kind of getting jaded to the whole Assassin's Creed.
I mean, people like us have been saying that forever.
Yeah. So, they do say, where is it? They do say that their third quarter financial report said that the fall release of Assassin's Creed Syndicate had a slower launch than expected. So while the game was well received, it didn't really fly off the shelves the way they thought it would.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the PS4 numbers for Syndicate right now, and they are not so good. They had an overall of... Oh, actually, it sold really well in Europe. It sold garbage everywhere else. On the PS4, I will say, specifically. But it was 2.8 million units, and on the PS4. And let's see what it did on some of the other ones. Syndicate on the PC was 0.15 million units.
Oof.
So that's okay, but people don't usually buy it on PC.
No,
So
not that often. Their CEO, Yves Guillemot, he said their goal was to finish developing future games in the series earlier so that more time can be spent polishing them before release. And that the point is to spend less money on that final polish and limit the amount needed to be done post-launch. Because clearly that's been the big issue, but I don't know how much that's actually going to happen. It seems really it's an attempt to address Unity, more than anything.
But they had all those British voice actors.
And I mean, the movie's coming out.
Oh yeah, I like how that article mentions Fassbender in the movie. And I'm like, oh no, you guys.
It's not coming out at the same time. They're not going to have a movie tie-in game. How could they?
Oh no.
They're not going to have what would definitely be the worst game in the franchise because it's a movie tie-in game.
Oh yeah, wow. On the Xbone, it was about 1 million units. Yeah, Syndicate did underperform compared to a lot of the other Assassin's Creed games from prior to that.
That's a shame because it's so much better than Unity.
Once they got burned with Unity, once they got horrified by faces in Unity, they just couldn't go back to Assassin's Creed. So no, that actually totally makes way more sense now that they want they want to take a break from Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I mean, we all knew that this whole Assassin's Creed every year thing was not going to work out.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, with Call of Duty, even Call of Duty's been seeing some drop in sales numbers and stuff with their releases.
And they've got a proven formula.
Yeah,
for
sure. They, at the same time, have a smarter system where they have the development trade-off. So every game that comes out is much more polished than it would be the way Ubisoft's been doing Assassin's Creed. Next up, I got a story from February 3rd that I just thought was kind of neat to talk about since these things have apparently taken off. Nintendo revealed the most popular amiibo of 2015.
I like how the byline of this article is Japan's list looks quite different than America's. Yeah, no duh.
Surprising literally no one.
Literally no one.
But I just thought this was cool like you basically just said in the article, said to see the differences in each country. So Japan's list from number 1 to number 10 is Inkling Girl, Inkling Squid, Inkling Boy, Mario, Mario.
Wait. Mario.
Mario. This is Mario Super Mario Series Classic Color and Modern Color. Isabelle from Animal Crossing in her winter outfit.
Well, yeah, specify.
Kirby,
Okay.
Green Yarn Yoshi,
Oh,
and
that's adorable.
Digby from Animal Crossing. So that's Japan. They like the squid people,
and they like Mario.
They like Mario, and they like Animal Crossing. And Yarn Yoshi and Kirby are very cute.
Yes.
Or as they say, kawaii.
Exactly. In the U.S., we have
Link.
Yeah, first pick. Second pick.
Link doesn't surprise me. It's
No,
the
not
first
at all.
pick in the US at
Second pick, Bowser. I expected him to be in the top 10. I expected him to be number 2.
I feel like it might be because maybe the Bowser one was more readily available.
Ooh,
than a lot of
probably.
others. He was a character who people could get and was cool enough.
Yeah.
So he sold.
So then we got Toon Link. Surprising no one.
Yes.
Mewtwo. Again, I didn't expect it to be that high on the list.
That doesn't
but
surprise me.
I figured it would be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Damn right.
Yeah. Sonic coming in at a strong number 5.
Pikachu.
Surprising no
who
one.
I'm actually really surprised isn't on Japan's
I know,
list.
they love Pikachu.
He's probably like 11 or 12.
Yeah. Mario, because Mario's got to be on there.
Yep. Pac-Man,
'Cause
which is shocking to me.
Americans remember who Pac-Man is.
I guess. Mega Man.
Surprising
Which
no
makes
one.
sense because people want a cool little Mega Man figure.
Yeah.
And Japan and Capcom clearly hate Mega Man.
Yes.
So
Where else are they going to get one?
Where else are they going to get one? And Ganondorf.
Okay. I mean, he's a cool villain.
He goes with Link, I guess. You got all
Sure.
the Zelda
Yeah, we
fans?
have established that Americans love Zelda.
Yeah.
Like,
Can't get
not Zelda, but the Legend
Americans
of
just
Zelda.
can't get enough of that golden-haired elf.
Oh,
He's so sultry.
I came across the most amazing meme the other day that was that was, I guess it was Linkle, or just a female cosplay of Link. And
Now it's Linkle.
Well, now it's
That's
Linkle.
canon now.
Yeah. And the meme caption was, "If Zelda was a girl."
Can you imagine those games if Zelda was a girl?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Can you imagine if Metroid was a girl, not a robot?
It's insane.
Metroid and his girlfriend Sam.
What a different world it would be. So in Europe, I actually think Europe's list is like the only one that makes sense.
Yeah?
Because they put Mario up top.
Yeah.
Mario should be up top for all these. Why isn't he number 1?
He was so
Mario?
available too. Like Link number 2.
Of course.
Include Squid.
Okay, sure.
I'm not surprised because I expected a Splatoon one to be up there in the US actually because that game's really taken off.
Oh, totally.
So I expected at least one of those Inkling ones to be there.
But we gotta make room for Pac-Man. Next, Green Yarn Yoshi, because he's adorable.
Yes.
Then we got another Mario and another Mario. Okay.
But different Marios from Japan.
Oh. How many Marios are there?
Apparently there's at least 4.
Jeez.
Probably 5.
Probably.
We got Super Smash Brothers Mario on here, which was not on Japan's.
Which is somehow different than other.
Yes.
Then we got Pikachu, makes sense. Inkling Boy, okay, sure.
Toad.
And Inkling Girl.
And Inkling Girl. So what I learned here is that Europe and Japan like Splatoon way more than America.
Yeah. Wow. So there's a story I had been reading this week.
Yes.
That I do not have a link to, so we can't cite it specifically, but it was about how Nintendo is trying to figure out what kind of direction they want the company to go in going forward, especially with the launch of their next system.
Which we're allegedly going to be seeing in March.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
You know who's going to be reporting on that? IGN.
I wish I could capture the face you just made as you said that. You had this moment of, like, very upset hesitation before you said it. Just like, I don't want to say it, but then you just did it anyway.
I had to go all the way for the joke.
Commitment to a bit.
Anyway, so talking about how they're going to sort of reallocate resources as a company.
Yes.
And supposedly there's rumors that they're going to be putting more emphasis on the younger devs in the company. They're giving them more free reign and thinking about more original IPs. Which is super interesting. And I think the reason why they're doing that is because Splatoon
was made by new folks.
And is their first original IP in like forever.
And it's been doing great.
Yeah, it was a huge seller for them. So yeah, I think they feel like they want to take some more risks with that.
And I mean, we can go back, like I said before the podcast, we can go back in the years and look at Kirby, which was created by Sakurai, Masahiro Sakurai, back in the day, and he was new at that point. Like, that was his first thing he did himself, and it was a totally original IP at that time, and look at where Kirby is now. One of the most well-liked Nintendo
now he's
characters.
in Super Smash Bros.
He's great. He has a really cool
But his
Japanese
amiibo doesn't
Nendoroid
sell that
action
well.
figure that they made. With, it's on the shelf right over there. He's got little magnetic limbs and everything.
Oh, that's great.
It's a little magnetic ball, and you just stick his limbs on him and move him around to pose him. It's amazing.
Wherever you want.
And he's so soft. You so serious, touch that Kirby after this podcast.
That sounds wrong.
He's super soft.
Can't do it. I can't touch another man's Kirby.
It's not mine. It's hers.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yarn Yoshi was also surprisingly popular, given that he just came out. He flew off the shelves.
He's adorable.
He's adorable.
But yeah, I as to the point you brought up earlier, I'm super curious to see how availability of amiibos affected sales.
Right, because I think it would have, in a big way. Because there's no way one that's like a Best Buy exclusive is going to be one of the top 10 sellers.
Yeah, totally.
It's impossible.
It's literally impossible.
What amiibo do I have? I have Corinne's got Kirby, and I have Captain Falcon and Shulk. And Shulk was hard to get. Like, he was all weird. And I got Shovel Knight. But Shovel Knight was pretty easy to get. They made a ton of Shovel
people
Knight.
supposed to refer to Shovel... Wait, no. I think of someone else. I'm thinking of...
Who are you thinking of? Sheik?
Yes, I'm thinking of Sheik.
Zelda and the Zelda Sheik.
Yeah. Whenever someone says Shulk, I'm like, oh, you mean Sheik? Because Sheik is also in Super Smash Bros.
Yeah. But Shulk... Sheik's not really feeling it, man. Shulk's feeling it.
Yeah.
You can tell, you can look at him. He's got a face that says, I'm really feeling it. So, next story we got a little trio of stories here. These are actually from last week, but they simply must be talked about. Because the last time we podcasted, we talked about how Peter Molyneux's Twitter account got hacked.
So now we got 3 doses of Molly for you.
Like, right after 3 doses of Molly?
You just got that. It took me a second and you got it.
Oh, that's horrible. So, Peter Molyneux, his Twitter account was hacked a few weeks ago, and all the hackers said was, I'm retiring from games development. Goddess is being pulled off of the market.
And one of those was kind of true.
Him.
Yeah. Everyone believed him because it was totally plausible, and one of them was kind of true.
One of them ended up being kind of true.
Because they have sort of abandoned Goddess in terms of, continuing to develop it.
Molyneux then regained control of his account, went on and said, haha, sorry, so funny, I'm not retiring. Also, please buy Goddess. And that was that.
And then the whole internet collectively went, oh, man.
It wasn't even really, disappointment. It was just... It's a strange emotion.
It's a strange
and unknowable emotion. So then from this Destructoid article on the 3rd, Peter Molyneux, who has said some time ago that he was no longer going to speak to the press, spoke to Eurogamer.
Yeah, I think he said he was no longer going to speak to the press after a very
who was it?
Intense
RPS
article.
It was an RPS interview, Rock Paper Shotgun interview, where the interviewer went after him.
It was a hard-hitting interview.
Yeah.
It wasn't really unfair, though.
No, but he definitely got in there and put it to a point where Molyneux was like, oh god.
When was that over the summer? I think that's when that happened.
It's linked to you right here, so I can pull it up.
I know
it was last February.
Oh, geez, it was a while ago.
It was like a year ago. Yeah, this is the interview that opened with, do you think you're a pathological liar?
Okay, so maybe it was a little unfair.
It was a little rough. And then Molly was like, that's a very... And the guy's like, yeah, it's harsh, but it's important.
Okay, so yeah, then the interviewer came back and was like...
Yeah, so but still. This interview was in light of that, apparently. And Molyneux, in this interview, noted that it was tempting to retire. It's something that he thought about a while ago. But that was a clear reflection of, the recent hack of his account. That probably wouldn't have come up otherwise. And he noted that what's going on at 22 Cans, that last year the studio endured sort of exile because staff just didn't want to work on Goddess, because like everybody hated it. It's a great thing to hear.
I like how it's like everyone hates your game because you didn't put enough content in it. So your response to that is to stop putting content in it.
They never finished this game. There's a guy who won a contest to be put into it, and part of it, and he never was even contacted. This is terrible.
It's terrible.
And then he decided shortly after, he says in this interview, he's like, I'm working on a solution, and my solution is a new game that's a companion to Goddess, and it's free for people who own the original game. So then he released Goddess spin-off, Goddess Wars, which is in early access.
And it's like on Steam, right?
Yes, Steam early access. So this game's $14.99.
But it's free if you already had
Free if you already had Goddess, but what was not free was the microtransaction built right into it the moment it went up on early access.
It's not even finished yet.
It had a $4.99 add-on pack that added new maps and content. What are you doing? And I don't think that was free for people who own the original game either.
Not.
I highly doubt it. So the whole thing is you lead your playable deities who lead armies across transforming maps. So it's black and white.
Oh yeah, he made that game before.
He made black and white again.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, Goddess didn't work. I'm gonna make black and white again. But, like, it's too little too late, man. And you screwed this up too. Like, this game's not done yet either.
You've already screwed it up, Peter Molyneux.
This game's not done yet either. Like,
you just launched it and you already messed up. But he took off the microtransaction.
Yes, he did.
Because everyone got so upset.
People got heated about this. So it launched a few days. This is an article from the 5th. It had only been like 3 days since this game came out on Steam Early Access, and already there was this huge uproar of people who were like, $4.99 microtransaction for 40 new missions? And like tons of new units and stuff? Like, why? The game's not done. You can't charge people for DLC on an unfinished game.
To be fair, the game's probably never going to be done. So this is basically his finished product.
I suppose that's true. So 22 Cans CEO, as Molyneux is important to note, Molyneux is not the CEO of 22 Cans. He is in a more like creative supervisory role at the company. And like the ideas man, I guess, which is going great for them, clearly. The CEO, Simon Phillips, said that the transactions were being dropped and the extra content will be available to all for free. So good on them for doing that, at least. Said, in the meantime, it has been brought to our attention that the extra content being premium add-on isn't really a popular choice. Well, we think that it does represent good value, especially considering Goddess Wars has been delivered as a free update to hundreds of thousands of users, and the lower purchase price in the main game. We understand previous Goddess owners' frustrations with this. Oh, do you?
Really?
Do you understand their frustration with the fact that you didn't finish Goddess? And instead just made them a new second game? Like, what the hell? So, at least they're sort of listening to people.
As I stated when I was first reading about these stories, it feels like half of Peter Molyneux's career is just damage control for the other half of his career.
And you're not wrong at all. Like, my god. It didn't really start until Fable, though. Because prior to Fable, with like Black and White and Black and White 2, they're fine. There's nothing like wrong with those games. Like, they pretty much delivered what they expect, what they were intended to.
Yeah.
And were perfectly functional, and a lot of people like really like those games. Still. They're good. But then he put out Fable, and he lied to everybody about everything. And it's just been a downward spiral from there.
Exactly.
So I got one more really exciting story. What could be better? What could be better than this?
Oh my god.
So, Polygon, on February 10th, Sonic the Hedgehog is coming to theaters in 2018, in live action, and CGI.
So that confuses me. It's a mix?
Allegedly.
So we're gonna be Who Framed Roger Rabbit-ing it up?
Seemingly. So, Sega Sammy Holdings, the parent company of Sonic the Hedgehog creator Sega, has been working with Sony Pictures to bring Sonic to the big screen. In an interview, company president and CEO Hajime Satomi confirmed that a combined live-action and computer-generated film is in the works. It's scheduled for release in 2018, and there's very little else. There's nothing else has been shared about it. Sega and Sony together announced a CG animated film in 2014, saying that it was in production. So we don't know if this is in development alongside that, or if that has become this, or if it's maybe even completely unrelated. As we all know, Sonic the Hedgehog has held starring roles in past film and television works, such as Sonic the Movie, which was a 2-part anime series that premiered in 1996 in Japan. Oh. There's the Sonic Boom Cartoon Network series, which is still airing, in spite of its terrible spin-off games. Mm. And then there is ABC's classic Sonic the Hedgehog from the early 90s.
Yes.
With the chili dogs.
Exactly.
That's my shit.
Amazing.
So yeah, we may be looking forward to a new Sonic the Hedgehog theatrical film in a couple years.
You know, in a world where they're making an Angry Birds CGI movie, this is sane.
A breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
You watched that Angry Birds movie trailer?
I did not.
I did.
Oh, were you blown away by it?
I was blown away, and I'll tell you why I was blown away.
Was Patton Oswalt involved? Is that why?
No. I was blown away because at the very end of the trailer, a joke made me laugh.
Oh, well.
The rest of it didn't. But there was one joke at the end that, it was not a mature joke. It was toilet humor.
Yeah.
But it was very well executed. And I was surprised. It took me off guard because I was like, oh, it's stupid humor, but they did a good job with it. And whatever. I have more important things to hate than the Angry Birds movie.
Like Peter Molyneux.
But yes. So that's happening. What video games are coming out?
Well, as we were talking about earlier, Street Fighter V is coming out.
That's probably the real big one.
Yeah, on Windows and PS4.
We should talk about some stuff that came out in the past week, actually.
Well, there's Firewatch.
Firewatch came out. Final Fantasy IX came out on iOS.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool.
I really like that they've been porting a bunch of these games to a bunch of the Final Fantasy games.
Because they can run
mobile.
so well on those.
Yeah,
platforms.
People will buy them, and I'm sure they do.
The next installment in Assassin's Creed Chronicles, the Assassin's Creed games taking place in all the places that you wish the mainline Assassin's Creed games were taking place in, like India and Russia and all sorts of cool places instead of just England.
France.
You got Dying Light: The Following, which is a big expansion to Dying Light, which is a pretty cool game. I've watched some of it. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
Oh, well, of course.
Now, we all know that nobody gives a crap about Naruto, but man, that game is pretty. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. I wish it wasn't Naruto.
On the 5th, XCOM 2 came out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Which I've heard is quite good, although saddled with quite a few glitches at the moment.
That's not good.
Yeah. So that needs to be figured out. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Final.
Oh, nice, for the 3DS.
On the 10th for the 3DS. That's cool. And
Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories is finally coming out on your Droid phone.
It's about time.
I know, right? That's the platform we were all waiting for on.
Layers of Fear.
I don't know what that is.
It's coming out on the 16th. It is a horror game, an indie horror game made in the Unity engine, I believe. I watched an early version of it played on a YouTube channel. Looks quite good.
Oh.
It's very pretty and spooky and has a really interesting art concept to it.
Neat.
With paintings and things like that.
Pillars of Eternity expansion. Pillars of Eternity, The White March?
Now, is this part 2 of Pillars of Eternity or part 2 of The White March?
I think it's part 2 of The White March.
Okay.
Part 1 came out in August. Wow, that is quite a while between parts.
Yeah, seriously.
But, Pillars... I don't know too much about the expansion, but I know that Pillars of Eternity is freaking rad.
Yeah, that also... A lot of glitches when it first came out, but they fixed it quite quickly, didn't they?
Because Obsidian... they're good guys.
They're good dudes.
Give them enough time, they'll do it.
And we got Street Fighter V, as you said.
Yep.
That's a really big one. And of course, Project Cross Zone 2, subtitle The Game You Will Never Finish. As a sequel to an infamously long and boring video game. Yeah, and that looks like that's about it. And some Walking Dead game on PS4, whatever. I don't really care about that.
Rocket League is coming to the Xbone.
Yep. Danganronpa on PC. Oh, and next Friday, we might as well talk about it. Just mention it now because it's like the last thing on our scope here. Fire Emblem Fates comes out next Friday for the 3DS. Nice. So that's one a lot of people are very excited about.
Cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
And that's about it for our show.
Yeah, we nailed it. We're right about on time.
Oh, we're so perfect. Every time.
Every time.
So you've been listening to Don't Copy That Floppy, a video game news show airing Fridays from 7 to 8 p.m. on www.chipbit.net.
That's correct.
So you can listen to us live then, or you can listen to us on our archive, which there's one on Chipbit, but there's also an archive on iTunes. You can access it that way as well. Plus all sorts of social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Steam.
And iTunes.
I already mentioned that.
You did, because you mentioned the archive.
Yeah.
We're on there, though.
We're on.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. And until next week, when we will be back with more video game news, the hottest, freshest video game news about Peter Molyneux that you can handle. Just remember, don't copy that floppy. Just remember, don't copy that floppy. Just